jujitsu.
Well, how about this? Do you guys know Acro yoga?
No.
Have you guys seen that shit?
Yes, Acro yoga, yeah.
Quentin,
yeah.
do you do Acro yoga? Oh my God, this guy's gonna steal your girl, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Quentin, if I had a girlfriend, there's no way I'm letting my girl do Acro. Can we, Quentin, can you Google Acro yoga?
It's aerobatic, so you're in the air doing yoga, right?
Google it, because I don't know if everybody who's watching or they know.
Activity.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was.
So it's like a
sure you
dude
could
laying.
definitely
Oh, is it the guy that like and he'll throw them in the air and
he'll
do the
use
weird
his
shit with
legs
them?
to lift
Yeah,
the
I know
girl
what
up.
you're talking
I'm
about.
sorry, bro. If you're in a relationship,
I know plenty of healthy
That's like basically
relationships
foreplay.
Well, I mean, it just depends on what the boundaries
it?
in your relationship are, but
She's all, I would never.
yeah, just do Windows. Show us in Windows tab. Is it F11?
I mean, I can understand the yoga, but
Oh, this
jujitsu,
guy?
That's not really
Well, this guy's not really. I mean, I've seen some studs. Yeah, but sure. I'm not scared of this guy, but go ahead. Sure, just so they know.
If I was
what
a
it
man,
is.
I wouldn't mind
You did?
my partner being around the
Pause
same.
it, pause it, pause it, pause it,
This
pause
is
it, pause it,
not-
pause, pause, pause,
This
pause,
is
pause.
not happening
Wait, pause.
in my relationship.
So this
What did
is.
you do today, honey?
This
I was
is-
just flying on Edgar.
We're talking about, like, the
I was
buff
flying
ones
on
that are all
Edgar,
hot?
It's fine.
yeah, I think
I'm still not letting.
cool.
My girl do it, but I've seen some crazy ones where like.
more intermingled, right?
Yeah.
You should learn how to do that then.
I think it's
see
fair as a
anything wrong with
guy
that.
in a relationship.
Or learn to do it together.
Hold on. I think it's fair as a guy in a relationship to be like, nah, you can't do that. I'm not letting you go do acro yoga with a dude.
Okay, well, vice versa,
If
right?
you walked in on that, I mean, that would be a headline for me. I'd be in the
Yeah.
headlines if I walked in on that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You'd murder Jim Bob. You'd murder somebody. Would you murder
no,
your
I mean,
wife? Wait,
I
would
don't
it?
know, but I would be in the headlines. I won't say specifically, but if you walked in a room and your wife is doing the flying in the sky with a dude, I mean, it's intimate. This is what it is. It's intimacy. It's not even like sexual kind of thing like cheating. You think of cheating. It's intimate.
If
Like
you
you
make
couldn't
it that
possibly
way.
say that it's not intimate, right?
I mean, you have to make it that way. It's like people go on Dancing with the Stars. Dancing is intimate, but there's a lot of people on Dancing with the Stars that are married, and as long your spouse has to be okay with
For
it.
how long?
I'm
For
not
how
sure.
long? How long
I
is
watched that when I was a
anyone
kid,
in, like any
but
type of thing, and you really married.
it's all up to the people you're in a relationship with.
I also
You have to just. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I interrupt you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I just.
Private chat.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Just like to your sentiment that you were saying that if a man is in a relationship and he has an objection with his partner doing jiu-jitsu, I don't necessarily believe that has. I think that if you're a man who has an objection with your partner doing jiu-jitsu, then maybe you should just go do jiu-jitsu with her. Like, you can just be a part of the sport in that. I don't think that you should necessarily dictate her behavior.
Right.
I think that you can dictate your behavior around it. Like, if she really wants to do jiu-jitsu and learn self-defense, then I could understand that as a man, you might want to just go with her. But I don't think that it's like... But I think that as you get into the community, you'll realize how non-sexual the sport is in the first place.
I think it's only sexual if
Yeah,
you
I'm not.
sexualize
Just to be
it.
clear, I'm not like downplaying the martial arts component of jiu-jitsu. It's a legitimate martial arts practice. It's extremely effective, but there's a component of I'm not. By doing this, I don't think we're sexualizing it. It's just look at what happened to Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Good-looking, rich, best NFL quarterback ever, status, and he can't hold on to his chick.
Do you know if he's a great person?
Yeah, he's probably cool. He's probably.
Do you know how he is in a relationship?
If Tom Brady,
Brady, like people love LeBron.
guys, one at a time, please. But if Tom Brady can't hold on to, like, literally he's like a 0.0001% top tier guy. If he can't hold on to his chick. And she did jujitsu.
Well,
I'm banning my girl from doing jujitsu.
But that's
Because
also
Tom Brady don't,
Yeah.
because Tom Brady's not into it. He's like, you know what? We're not doing jujitsu no more. It's not the thing. You're like, my shorty's not going to jujitsu.
Also said something about it's not sexual, but I think you're speaking from a female perspective.
If anything, what
You
if like
put-
she could protect you? I'm not saying I'm not doubting you ever.
I don't know if I would be with a man
I'm
who
not
required
doubting
my
you,
protection.
Right.
Are you guys saying that a man wrestling with a woman, in this case jiu-jitsu, they're probably fit, probably in good shape, that the man won't examine the woman, if you will, if they're that close, if they're rolling around with their bodies and stuff. You think it's not sexual from the female perspective,
Right.
but it's kind of naive to think a man having his impulses, having a woman right in front of him to wrestle with on the ground in all sorts of positions, isn't going to have some thoughts about that. That's, I think, what
Right.
Ryan and I are saying. Like, we would know what the man is thinking in that environment, and that's why we wouldn't want to put our woman in that environment.
Right, to an extent. And that, everybody has intrusive thoughts. So sometimes you can have them and make them go away.
I will agree with that. I think that men and women are wired differently. And while we may not see it as wrong from our perspective, we don't know exactly how the male mind works. But one thing we do know for sure is that they're very physical. So it might not trigger something for us, but it might trigger something for them.
Very look driven.
Can
Yeah,
I
very
ask you
look
something,
driven.
Sherwin? Like, based on that video, is jujitsu that intimate? Because, I mean, their faces were like...
Jiu-jitsu's a lot worse.
Oh, no, that was acro yoga.
Yeah, they're like full
I know,
on.
but like,
Yeah.
is jujitsu like, do you like touch each other like that? Or
You are belly to belly.
Yeah.
Your
I mean, I have no idea.
legs wrapped around each other, like crotch inches away from somebody's face, if like a triangle,
At
for
times,
example.
at times,
Well,
yes.
for the triangle,
But you're also doing that to people of your same gender,
Sure,
and
yeah.
men are doing it to men,
Right.
women are doing it to women, and like vice
Right.
versa.
Sure.
Like it all goes. I understand that people are saying that men are wired differently, but you can't maintain those thoughts while somebody's trying to choke you and break your arms. That's just so. I believe that if somebody was having those intrusive thoughts, they would very quickly be interrupted by the actual
you go.
sport itself. Because if
That's true.
either of you guys are actually doing the sport at all, that's gonna very quickly be interrupted by like a submission. Like, I trust my partner completely to roll with women, and I don't have a problem with that.
That's good.
Because he also does jiu-jitsu, and I don't mind him rolling with women.
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
say that trust
As
is a
long
big
as you
deal
have
in
it, yeah.
relationship. Like, it's
Yeah.
a must. If there's no trust, is there a relationship really?
I agree. I trust
Yeah.
my partner completely, and I would
Yeah.
never expect that type of behavior from him. So
That's great.
And I would hope he would never expect that from me.
Right.
I had no idea it was that intimate.
Which one of you would have a negative reaction if you were in jiu-jitsu and then your husband or your boyfriend said, no, I don't want you doing that?
I think I would just have, I would have a negative reaction just because, I don't know, he's telling me, I guess if it was my husband, it'd be different, but if it was my boyfriend, if I could make money some kind of way doing it, or, I don't know. I personally wouldn't even want to grapple with a guy because it doesn't make any sense to me, though. So I wouldn't do it in the first place.
I mean, the thing is, if you're going to jiu-jitsu class regularly, like you're probably going to like be practicing or rolling with
I
guys.
think it's different if it's like an instructor, but I feel like if they're
No,
teaching
it's
you
going to
something.
be another student, probably.
Yeah, then I wouldn't prefer to do that in general just because of my own preferences. Just as I wouldn't want my boyfriend doing it, honestly, with a woman either.
Yeah, and I'll say if a guy's doing jiu-jitsu and he's taking it seriously to want to improve, I think he would want to practice with someone in that same level. It wouldn't make sense for him.
Well, it's like weight class, but I mean,
I mean, yeah, but like exactly, it's weight class. So he would I would assume the logical thing to do is to find someone in the weight class in that same gender.
I agree.
I
think it's very easy to
It doesn't
be-
really give you an excuse
Yeah.
to like, oh, I'm practicing jiu-jitsu, so that's why I have a female partner. Because you can easily select a male partner,
I agree.
right? That's an option.
Yeah.
That's an option. Conversely, like if you're a woman in jiu-jitsu, like in the example of like my boyfriend, say if he's very skilled and I trust him completely, and I'll even recommend that like women roll with him because I know he's safe and I know he's not going to like do anything weird or think about them in that way, and I know he can show them new moves and stuff like that. So if like I just rolled with that woman and they're just like, oh, who else is safe and there's not a partner available to them, I'm just like, oh yeah, grab my boyfriend.
so I think if you're talking to a girl and you meet her and she's already involved in jiu-jitsu, I think it's going to be a harder sell to say stop. But if you've been dating her for 6 months, a year, whatever, and then she's like, I want to start, I think you have far more leverage in that situation to be like, don't like it, don't do it.
It's okay
And
to speak your
this
mind.
idea, but I'm curious, who here, kind of piggybacking off of Jim Bob's point, who here because I know some of you don't currently do jujitsu, but if you had a boyfriend and he said you're considering it and he said no, would you have an issue with that? I think you raised your hand.
I would probably have an issue with that.
You have an issue with that? Okay. And so what, would that be a breakup for you?
I mean, I wouldn't break up with someone over that. I mean, I would just do the jiu-jitsu if I wanted to do it. And it's like, if it's a problem to you that much, like, I guess it's a problem to you.
Sure. So I think the guy's position would essentially be, well, you can go do it, but we're not dating anymore. It was nice to know you.
Yeah,
That's typically how it goes.
Me doing like jujitsu, and obviously my like going into it, I wouldn't be seeing it as like a sexual thing, and like if it was a problem for him, if like the relationship was only if he had to break up with me because I'm doing jujitsu, then I wouldn't. I don't know. That's on him.
Is there anything a guy can tell you not to do that you would not do?
I mean, like when I was involved with that one guy I was talking about, he didn't love that I like went out a lot, but I still went out. I just wouldn't go out as frequently. Like I don't know. I'm still gonna live my life regardless. It's all about a preference game.
But so question though, it seems like at least with that guy wasn't super serious. You say you never had a boyfriend, so I mean you didn't have the title. When you get the title though, let's say this is the perfect guy, by the way, perfect guy, but he has conditions. One of these conditions is don't want you to go out anymore. Do you accept the condition, or is the relationship over?
It'd probably be over, because if he didn't want me to go out, he wouldn't be the perfect guy for me.
Could you compromise and go out together?
Yeah, I mean, I could totally compromise, but if you're gonna, it's never gonna be the perfect guy if he's like, you cannot go out.
Yeah. So
because
to
I'm
be
very
clear,
social.
I'll explain differently. So when I say perfect guy,
Right.
it's perfect but this. So it's like perfect, but he doesn't like. Okay, so what is your sense of what perfect means? He's like insanely attractive. He could have all the characteristics that you prefer or have a strong interest in. He could be rich. He could be all the things. So I'm perfect guy. Mm-hmm. Like, question for you. Do you think you'll end up with a perfect guy?
I don't know. I don't think everyone's like perfect.
Exactly.
So I think it just comes
perfection
down to
is extremely rare, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are going to end up, like, for example, an average person is going to end up with an average person.
Right.
And you might have good fit with each other, but there are going to be some things that are less than ideal, less than perfect about a person. But people make these sort of trade-offs in relationships where it's like, well, they've got like a Pokemon card collection, or like other, maybe they mildly annoy me in this one way, but I still love them and they're great, whatever.
Yeah.
People are rarely like 100% perfect.
Right.
But so just to be clear, you're not willing to sacrifice going out for the perfect guy?
Well, it depends how old I am, and also I guess
25.
it's
When you're
okay. Well, I don't know. It has to do with a trust thing too, because I don't drink or smoke, and obviously I'm not intimate with a ton of people, and so what would realistically be the problem? Like, I'm just going out having fun with my friends,
Right.
and I'm
You should be
normally
allowed
the
to.
driver a lot, so it's
Wait,
like
what do you say?
Sorry, you should be allowed to go out with your friends. I mean, that's
Right.
fine. As
When you
should
say
he.
go out with your friends, though, do you mean what? Because go out with your friends could mean you guys go get brunch, or you go to the club and you guys are drinking and there's a
don't
bunch
drink.
of
I
other
personally
men.
don't drink either,
Yeah, I don't
so
drink,
yeah.
Yeah,
If you did drink, but if you did drink,
I used to drink and I used to, party with my ex-boyfriend, and I don't know. I let him go out and do whatever he wanted to do, really. Like, I trusted that he wouldn't cheat on
right.
me.
And I
also-
probably wouldn't
The
go.
question-
Sorry.
The question Brian is pointing to for chair, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, is there a threshold at which the man you're with, even if they're not your husband yet, you'll actually honor the obligation to the relationship over your preferences to do whatever, right? Because there's this sort of rebellious feminist spirit that you're sort of showing here, is that ultimately in the end, it's whatever
be
you
submissive?
want in the end. And we're asking, at what point
Guys,
do you
stop. No,
you
go ahead.
change
Go
that
ahead.
for yourself? At what point? Like, when is it? When is it? Because you said I'm young. It depends how
Right.
old I am. So, but the thing is, what are you, 25?
Me? I'm 18.
Yeah. Oh, you're 18. Okay. So
Yeah.
you are young. So in the instance where you meet a man and like Brian said, he's perfect, and the only imperfection you find is that he kind of he wants to settle down. He sees you as the mother of his children. He sees you as his wife, his long-term thing. And you see this for him as well, but the only thing is you just want to do a little eat, pray, love on the weekends and you know, potentially be pursued by other young men. We're asking
No,
you,
if I'm in a relationship, I don't want to be pursued by other people.
No, I'm saying that you will be.
Oh, okay.
You'll be putting yourself in the situation. We're asking you, at what point do you abandon your preferences and your wants to honor and follow the obligations of the relationship?
I think compromise is key. I don't think it should be one way or the other. I think there should be a medium.
What you're saying,
But what is it for you, though? That's what Brian.
Well, like I
what-
said,
what
I
is
went out
the-
less. I would go out with him. Like when I was like involved with someone, I didn't go out as much. I would go out with him. I'd update him all the time. I'd text him frequently. But if like the end point is that I'm okay, you cannot go out at all, it probably wouldn't be the right person for me because I'm really social. I like to go out. And it's like I'm obviously not doing anything. I'm not intimate with a ton of people. I'm not drinking. So I just don't really think it's my problem. Yeah.
Here, I got a question. Or Jim Bob, did you have a follow-up or?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So if we're looking at the perfect guy,
Okay.
so this perfect guy, he could, whatever that perfect guy looks like to you, at least from my perspective, having had quite a bit of dating experience, finding somebody who's compatible and who's remarkable, who's exceptional. I mean, perfect goes even beyond exceptional and remarkable, is exceedingly rare. It's exceptionally rare. In fact, perfect doesn't even exist. So I would make all sorts of, I guess, I don't know if sacrifices is the right word. I would make maybe concessions even. I would make plentiful concessions and sacrifices for the perfect woman. But like, you just, okay, hold on. I don't go out to bars and clubs. You're not willing to make that trade-off to me. I mean, hey, that's you.
I guess I'm seeing it as like you're saying this is my perfect person, and I think my perfect person would be okay with that.
But
does the perfect
Well, that's
person
my-
make you
perfect
stop
person,
doing
but
everything you
perfect
need to do in your
person.
life?
Okay, do you like do you like ice cream?
Yeah, I like ice cream.
Okay, question. For the perfect guy, you could never, it's not something that the guy is imposing upon you. In the hypothetical scenario, you are delivered the perfect guy on a silver platter. But in order to do that, you have to grant to the universe that you won't participate in certain behaviors. Would you give up eating ice cream for the perfect guy?
I mean, I don't think I should have to live my life around someone else, even if there's
I
a
just
perfect.
granted
I know,
the scenario
but even
where
if they're the
he's
perfect
not-
person for me, they're not. That
No, but the
wouldn't-
perfect guy, he's not imposing this through his will on you. The universe is saying, I'm giving you a trade.
Doesn't even make sense.
So it's not, it's a hypothetical, of course it makes sense. So the universe is presenting to you a scenario, here's a perfect guy, but you can no longer eat ice cream.
Okay.
So he's not the one who's enforcing.
Does he
you
let her go
can't-
out?
Huh?
Is he the perfect guy? Does he let her go out?
Well, first answer the ice cream one.
I probably wouldn't want to give up ice cream. I really like ice cream.
Bro, you guys are insane.
Okay, look, I would
like to interject here.
She's
if I'm
never
trying
had
to settle
sex. She
down
likes
and I
ice
have to
cream.
give up ice cream, like I'll give up ice
So you
cream.
get your fun in, you
Like-
have your ice cream parties. Okay.
I'd like
Like
to
if this is someone I
she
see.
said- She also said, I don't want to give up anything I want for someone else, right? Well, what do you think motherhood's going to be?
Okay, you keep saying motherhood.
I didn't say